Good morning, America. New overnight, a Trump-appointed federal judge temporarily blocks the administration from deploying the National Guard in Portland, Oregon. As new protests break out in Chicago, ICE agents shoot and injure a woman they accuse of being armed after they say they were boxed in and rammed by multiple vehicles. Plans in place to federalize 300 National Guard troops, the Illinois governor fighting back.
Hope for the hostages. Israel's prime minister saying he hopes to announce the release of all remaining captives in the coming days, as a new round of indirect talks between Israel and Hamas are set to take place. Is there a possible end in sight to the 2-year war?
Mark Sanchez stabbed. The former NFL quarterback hospitalized and later arrested following an incident in downtown Indianapolis. What we know this morning.
Skydiving tragedy. A skydiver and instructor on a tandem jump somehow separated, the instructor plunging to the ground without a parachute. His client stuck in a tree.
Prime time to shop. The unofficial kickoff of the holiday shopping season. Retailers like Target and Walmart competing with Amazon Prime's Big Deal Days, where you can save right now.
Division Series drama, the MLB teams coming out swinging in Game 1, including a Dodgers comeback and a Blue Jays rout of the Yankees, and it's Week 5 in the NFL. Philly puts its perfect record on the line against the Broncos. Plus, a Monday night showdown between the Chiefs and the Jags. ESPN's Herm joins us to break down the biggest matchups.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Sunday. Good morning, America.
Ooh, it is Sunday. Good morning, America. It is great to see you. We've got a lot of major news to get to here this morning, but also some great sports action overnight. You saw it there. Shows it Shohei Ohtani throwing 6 innings for the Dodgers, striking out 9 players for his first postseason win. The highlights just ahead here. Plus, Taylor Swift delivers on her surprise to her fans, so we'll have that.
Yep, looking forward to that. Also, the massive protests in Israel, crowds rallying for an end to the conflict in Gaza as Israel and Hamas prepare to come to the table to discuss an end to the war.
Yes, but we do begin with President Trump federalizing 300 National Guardsmen in the Chicago area. That's as a federal judge temporarily blocked the administration from deploying the National Guard in Portland. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang joins us with the latest overnight. Good morning, Selena.
Hey, good morning, Janae. And that's a major rebuke to the Trump administration. A federal judge is blocking the president's plans in Portland just hours after Secretary Noem said she'd already requested to send troops there and to Chicago. Overnight, a major ruling against the Trump administration. A federal judge temporarily blocking the president's plan to send National Guard troops to Portland. The judge, who was appointed by Trump, saying the administration's description about chaos in Portland is simply untethered to the facts, and the president likely exceeded his authority under the Constitution, adding that the protests in Portland have not been significantly violent or disruptive and are insufficient to federalize the National Guard, writing, "This is a nation of constitutional law, not martial law." Oregon's Attorney General calling the decision a healthy check on the president's power.
As the president, you must have an actual facts based on reality, not social media or just your gut feeling if you want to mobilize the military.
The decision comes as tensions boil over in Chicago. ICE agents shot and injured a woman they say was armed in the southwest side of the city after federal officials say they were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars. DHS says the incident unfolded when agents were patrolling the Chicago suburb of Broadview, alleging law enforcement were forced to deploy their weapons and fire defensive shots. The woman, DHS says, was named in a Customs and Border Protection bulletin for allegedly doxing agents online. No law enforcement officers were injured. The incident sparking more protests in the city after days of demonstrations against Trump's immigration crackdown.
They threw, tear gas all over the place, and the cops had to retreat back. None of this is normal.
Illinois Governor Pritzker announcing President Trump intends to federalize 300 members of the state's National Guard, posting about the Trump administration. It is absolutely outrageous and un-American to demand a governor send military troops within our own borders and against our will. The White House telling ABC News the troops are necessary to protect federal officers and assets, and that Trump won't, quote, turn a blind eye to the lawlessness plaguing American cities. So the president has already sent troops to L.A. and here to D.C., and he's now targeting Portland, Chicago, and Memphis. Now, that federal judge's order only blocks the administration in Portland for 14 days, but Gio, the state says they plan to ask for an extension.
Okay, and you'll be following that, Selena Wang. Thank you so much. We turn now to the Mideast and hopes for the release of hostages in Gaza in just days. ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is live right there in Jerusalem with the latest overnight. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Gio. President Trump applying pressure to Israel and Hamas to move forward to end this 2-year-long war. He says that Israel has now agreed to partially withdraw, and that should then trigger the release of the hostages. But this remains a fragile process with many doubts about whether or not it can succeed.
This morning, Israel and Hamas prepare for talks to try to end the war in Gaza. President Trump saying Israel has agreed to a partial withdrawal of troops. Writing online, when Hamas confirms the ceasefire will be immediately effective, the hostages and prisoner exchange will begin and will create the conditions for the next phase of withdrawal, warning earlier that he'll not tolerate delay from Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing the nation, saying he hopes to announce the release of all remaining hostages from Gaza in the coming days. Overnight, more than 100,000 demonstrators gathering in Tel Aviv with a simple, forceful message. It's now or never.
We cannot let another deal collapse.
Hamas has agreed in principle to release all the remaining hostages, alive or dead, though adding it'd only free them if there are proper field conditions, saying they're ready to negotiate the details. But while Hamas has agreed to some of Trump's 20-point proposal, there's been no mention of the group disarming as the president demanded, and there are questions about just how that would happen and who'd oversee it. Meanwhile, in Gaza, despite President Trump calling for Israel to stop its bombing and Netanyahu instructing the Israeli military to hold all offensive operations, dozens killed in Israeli strikes Saturday, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Palestinians there reacting to the possibility of this war finally ending. I hope Hamas ends this war, this man says, because we're truly tired. The war has left nothing for us.
So indirect talks set to get underway tomorrow in Egypt, with the US playing the role of mediator. And I think that success or failure is going to depend on two key things. Firstly, is either party genuinely ready to compromise? And secondly, is President Trump ready to stay the course and guide these talks to success? Whit?
Some key questions. Ian, thank you for that. Let's bring in Martha Raddatz, who'll be hosting This Week later this morning. Martha, good morning to you. So I know you've been talking to your sources. How optimistic are U.S. officials at this point that this ceasefire plan could actually end the war in Gaza?
I do think there's a sense that this is different. This time is different. It's been almost 2 years. They want this to happen so badly. But of course, we have been here before. We have tried to get a ceasefire. But President Trump seems committed to making that happen now. You heard about his optimism. You heard about Netanyahu's optimism. But as we say, the devil is in the details, and those are very, very difficult now. Even though Hamas has said, we will agree to this, we will agree to that, it is those details that could bring this down.
And we know some people who are watching this very closely, the hostage families. What are we hearing from them about what Prime Minister Netanyahu said in that statement that the hostages could be returning in the coming days?
And obviously, that is what everyone hopes for. It is heart-wrenching to see those hostage families who have had such hope and such dedication over these last 2 years. Liron, the man you saw there talk in the end of Ian's piece, I met him last year at Kfar Aza, where his 28-year-old twin brothers were taken from that kibbutz, still held hostage. The way he feels this morning as he's hearing all this, he said he's filled with dread, but hope.
Dread but hope. All right, Martha Raddatz for us. We appreciate it. And tune into This Week later this morning. Martha will speak with Secretary of State Marco Rubio on what's next for the war in Gaza. And Democratic Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey joins with the latest on the government shutdown.
Well, now to the stabbing and the arrest of former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez. The Fox Sports analyst recovering this morning at a hospital in Indianapolis. And ABC's Ike Ajacci is here with the latest on this. Ike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Gio. A familiar face to football fans and now a Fox Sports analyst. Police say Mark Sanchez has been arrested and is now facing several charges after what authorities are calling a stabbing incident overnight in Indianapolis. Now, investigators believe this was an isolated incident tied to an argument that turned violent. This morning, former NFL quarterback and current Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez facing a battery charge after a stabbing incident in downtown Indianapolis.
I was met with the individual stab that we had up on Washington Street. Want to go see.
Investigators with the Indianapolis Police Department say Sanchez was initially hospitalized as the stabbing victim, but then later officers arrested the former quarterback for his alleged role in the incident. According to police, the incident occurred between out-of-towners in this alley and wasn't considered a random act of violence. Investigators say an argument between the two men quickly escalated just after midnight Saturday, leading to Sanchez sustaining injuries consistent with stab wounds. Police say Sanchez, who is still hospitalized, faces misdemeanor charges, including battery, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication. Adding all involved parties have been identified and no further suspects are being sought. Fox Sports providing an update, saying in part, our thoughts and prayers are with Mark, and we ask that everyone please respect his and his family's privacy during this time. Now, authorities say Sanchez has not yet been booked into the adult detention center and remains in the hospital as of now. Police say his recovery remains their primary concern as the investigation into the stabbing continues, guys.
Crazy story there. Thank you so much, Ike. Well, now to our focus on Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the importance of early detection. Joining us now is ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton. Such an important topic that we're talking about. And there's a new study out showing the importance of attending your very first breast cancer exam. Tell us about those results.
Yeah, that first mammogram is more than an appointment. It can really dictate your future health. So this is a recent study in light of Breast Cancer Awareness Month that's done in Europe. It follows nearly 400,000 women for close to 25 years. And it found that those that skipped their first appointment were more likely to be diagnosed with advanced stage cancer. And more importantly, were up to a 40% higher risk of dying from cancer. Another reminder that detecting cancer early is more than just finding cancer sooner. It can help you lead to more favorable treatment and more likely have a favorable outcome and higher chances at a cure.
And that data right there shows you why these screenings are so important. What are the options out there?
Yeah, important question. Mammograms are the first line of screening for breast cancer, but important to be aware of, especially if you're a woman of higher risk. For example, if you know that you have dense breasts, if you have a family history of breast cancer, if you have a genetic risk, or if you have a prior history of other types of cancer, you might benefit from other supplemental forms of imaging. That can include ultrasounds, magnetic resonance imaging, and even contrast mammography. This is a mammogram with contrast in the IV is theoretically found in certain studies to be able to find those harder to find lesions.
Wow. Interesting. It's also important to point out that women aren't the only ones who can get breast cancer.
Absolutely. For men, the risk is rare, but it's very real. There's a few thousand cases a year. And although there's no regular standard screening, I think it's important for men to understand, to know your risks. If you have a family history, if you have a genetic risk, it's not just for women, it's for all humans. If you have that BRCA gene, you need to talk to your doctor about additional screening, but more importantly, with knowing the symptoms. If there is a change in your chest, if you have a new lump, if there's a change in your nipple, or there's any concerning signs, you need to talk to your doctor to get evaluated. Breast cancer is not just isolated to women.
Good, important reminders there. And I know with that study that just came out, part of it with getting your first mammogram is just the idea that if you go for the first one, that shows that you'll probably go back for more. Absolutely. So it's so important for everyone to remember to schedule those screenings.
Absolutely, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sutton.
Of course.
All right, well, now to the holiday shopping season. Already here as major retailers try to lure you with some early deals. ABC's Rena Roy has been checking them out. Good morning, Rena.
Hey, Janae. Good morning to you. Yeah, it may be hard to believe, but apparently it is that time of year again. With holiday shopping season around the corner, big box stores are offering deals to keep up with Amazon Prime Big Deal Days.
This morning, the mad dash for great deals beginning.
With Prime Big Deal Days coming October 7th and 8th.
Major retailers competing with Amazon for your dollars, including Target.
Oh, you can kiss. Target Circle Week's big deals are coming.
And Walmart.
Walmart deals are happening October 7th through 12th.
If you're in the market for new tech products, you're in luck. Amazon is offering deals for Prime members starting Tuesday, and some early sales are already available, like the Amazon Echo Auto, which adds Alexa to your car. It was $54.99, now $14.99. And the Ring battery doorbell was $149.99, now $79.99.
You're going to find the best deals, particularly from Amazon, on those brands that Amazon owns. So think Kindle, Fire, Ring, Amazon Essentials, Amazon Basics.
Target Circle Week kicking off today. Anyone can join Circle for free to access sales, like 40% off Halloween costumes and up to 40% off holiday decor. Walmart's deals start on Tuesday, including up to 40% off fashion and up to half off home items right now. You can save on this Air Fryer HEPA air purifier. It was $189.99, now $39.79.
I always recommend making a list of the holiday gifts you intend to buy, and then maybe any household essentials, and then kind of tackle it in an organized manner.
Now, there are some deals experts say you should wait for, especially if you're in the market for some toys, for example, which are expected to have deeper discounts on Black Friday, guys.
Okay, so wait for Black Friday for the toys, noted. And Rena, people may be saving some money with these deals, but will probably be shelling out more cash for shipping.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case. Starting today until mid-January, the United States Postal Service is temporarily changing its prices for the holiday season. You can expect to see increases anywhere from 40 cents to $16, depending on weight and the type of service. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, so procrastinators like me, we get nailed every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Rena. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Rena.
All right, now to Major League Baseball with the Division Series all in full swing right now. ABC's Melissa Adonis here with the overnight highlights. Some big ones, Melissa. Good morning.
Good morning, Whit. So it is full swing indeed. Up for grabs, the American and the National League Division Series. So games are now best out of 5 and battling for the NLDS, the Dodgers and the Phillies. That was a tense game. Check it out. The Philadelphia Phillies starting out strong, shutting out the 2025 World Series champs for 5 innings. Citizens Park going wild for pitcher for Christopher Sanchez, but we love Shohei Ohtani, right? The Los Angeles Dodgers gaining momentum in the 6th inning. Teoscar Hernandez hitting a 3-run home run. The Dodgers win 5-3. And the Milwaukee Brewers dominating the Chicago Cubs in their game 1. The Cubs kicked it off with a home run, but the Brewers taking a strong lead in the 1st inning, scoring 6. Final score there, 9-3. For the ALDS, we had the Toronto Blue Jays demolishing the New York Yankees with a whopping 10-1. The Blue Jays with their first postseason win since 2016. And finally, the Detroit Tigers taking on the Seattle Mariners last night. The game going extra innings after Mariners' J-Rod tied the game 2-2. But it was the Tigers winning it 3-2 in the 11th inning. So the Mariners and Tigers are at it again for game 2 tonight. And look, so are the New York Yankees. While it was a rough game for the Yankees, tonight they have a chance at redemption. Ace pitcher Max Fried is expected on the mound. Guys?
You know, I don't think people realize what a baseball fan Melissa is. She's always at the games with her husband.
When she talks about the Dodgers, that smile.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. We appreciate you. All right, still ahead here on GMA. Overnight escalation. Russia launches fresh strikes on Ukraine and Poland scrambles fighter jets.
Plus, ESPN's Herm Edwards is joining us to preview NFL Week 5 as Cooper Rush makes his first start for the Ravens.
And Swifties, wake up. Taylor Swift dropped a surprise, and it's only available for 24 hours. We'll tell you what's inside her exclusive new release coming up.
What are you? I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
All right, we are gearing up for the big premiere of Tron Ares, the action-packed sci-fi thriller zips into theaters this week, and the stars are dropping by here ahead of the big debut. Jared Leto joins us on GMA this Wednesday. Greta Lee swings by on Thursday.
Remember when we did the Tron ride?
We did the Tron ride. We were like the test dummies on the Tron ride.
I know. I had a lot of FOMO.
It was wild.
I had a lot of FOMO.
I love that ride.
Let's take a look at more of the stories that we're following this Sunday morning. Russia bombards Ukraine overnight with a massive air assault, killing at least 5 people. Ukraine's president says Russia carried out the attack with 50 missiles and 500 drones. Poland scrambled fighter jets amid the attack to ensure safety in its airspace.
And a skydiving tragedy in Nashville after a skydiving instructor died during a jump. The instructor and the skydiver were set to jump in tandem from a plane, but somehow became separated. The skydiver survived after getting stuck in a tree with an open parachute, but police believe the instructor did not have a parachute.
Oh, that's awful. And Democratic leaders set to discuss federal spending as the government shutdown continues. In a letter, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries announced a virtual call for Monday with the House Democratic Caucus. Meanwhile, Senate Democrats and Republicans remain at odds over the spending bill. No word yet on when the Senate will vote again on reopening the government.
And Taylor Swift taking things up a notch for her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. The singer announced 4 limited edition CD releases, each available for 24 hours or while supplies last. CDs? Where do you even play that
CDs?
these days?
Man, I don't know. Back in the day.
Get the Walkman.
Yeah. All right, we start this half hour with the must-see games in the NFL today. ESPN analyst, our guy Herm Edwards, is back to break it all down for us. Coach, good morning to you. So let's start with the Houston Texans against the Baltimore Ravens. Cooper Rush will make his first start for Baltimore. They're dealing with numerous injuries, including to Lamar Jackson. What's your take on this game?
Well, if I would have told you in the beginning of the season that the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans would both have a record of 1-3, you'd say, no, that can't be. But that's the reality of it all when you think about it. Now Lamar Jackson is hurt, obviously. This Raven defense that we could count on the past couple years, they're like 30th in defense. The Baltimore Ravens, when you say the Baltimore Ravens, you think defense, not so much. So right now, both these teams are scrambling. Lamar Jackson is no longer going to play this week. That could be tough, so they're going to have to lean on Derrick Henry and Andrews and see if they can beat Houston. But this is a coin toss for me. I don't really know. Neither one of these teams are very good right now.
All right, the coin toss for Coach Herm. And this next clash features the undefeated reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Denver Broncos with their strong pass rush. Denver lost, though, 2 close games this season. Who are you liking here, Coach?
Well, you're asking me to pick against the Eagles, right? And the Eagles have not looked good, but they're 4-0. Their offense has not been very good. You know, this is going to boil down to that guy, Saquon Barkley and Andrews, the tight end, and obviously A.J. Brown, number 11. Can they get those guys the ball? This offense has struggled mightily in the first month of football, but they find themselves 4-0. And until somebody beats them, I'm going with the team that wears the green, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, yeah, you are. Okay, the big Sunday night matchup, the young Patriots led by quarterback Drake May. They go to the AFC East powerhouse Buffalo Bills, who have big Super Bowl dreams this season.
Yeah, well, listen to this one. If the Buffalo Bills should win this game, that would make them 5-0. The last time they were 5-0 was in 1991. That was one of their Super Bowl runs. I like Josh Allen. I like this Buffalo Bill football team. They are playing terrific football right now. Drake May is a young quarterback. He's going to learn a lot playing against Josh Allen. He's going to play him twice a year now. He's in the same division. But I'm not betting against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
All right. So it's time now for Who's with Herm.
Yes, it is.
After week 4,
yep.
Our reigning champ, Whit, he's got one. He's got one on the board.
Hey, you know what? We all got one this
We all got
week.
one.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Gio somehow
What's
has
that?
3. Incredible. He's got
roll,
3.
Yeah,
I have 2.
There it is.
Along with Coach Herm, since we all picked the Broncos over the Bengals. So the Chiefs face the Jaguars on Monday Night Football on ABC. Coach, who's your pick?
The Chiefs found their offense last week. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes right now. The Jaguars are playing well. I get it. But I like the Chiefs. I like the way they look on offense. Their defense has been playing well. I'm going with Kansas City.
All right.
Okay.
KC Mo's got my
You
Mine
too?
vote too. Yep. I'm
Gio?
going Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs.
Oh, you're not
I
going to
got
try
the
to like,
Chiefs.
you know, break the whole
know, be a
unity.
contrary
No,
Yeah.
because I'm not betting against the Chiefs either.
You know, I'm not either.
I've been on a good streak here. I'm not messing that
We
up.
win together, we lose together, Coach. Ain't that right? You
Since
play
we
to
all
win the
picked
game.
the Chiefs, since we all picked the Chiefs, we're probably going to lose, right?
That's right.
It's okay.
Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Of course, you can watch the Chiefs and the Jaguars Monday night right here on ABC and on ESPN at 8:15 Eastern.
And as the October chill begins to set in, we're more likely to cuddle up to the TV. And Will Gans is here with his latest edition of Binge This.
The cuddle edition.
There it is. I wasn't sure if we would have it.
By the way, some of us are cuddled up to the TV 365 days a year. It's not just
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're a few weeks out from Halloween. What are the streaming options you got?
All right, let's get into it. If you prefer your spooky season to be crawling with comedy, Family Guy has your back. The Family Guy Halloween special premieres on Hulu tomorrow and includes Brian and Stewie on a mission to come up with an epic Halloween song after realizing there's got to be more than just the Monster Mash to celebrate spooky season. The episode is called A Little Fright Music, and I have high hopes. Series creator Seth MacFarlane can really sing, so that's tomorrow. Or if you really want to be scared, you guys, this year's biggest horror flick, Weapons, is now streaming. It's about a classroom full of students that all run from their homes in the middle of the night, and the remaining parents and community members are trying to track them down. I expect to see lots of Aunt Gladys costumes this Halloween, and there's Oscar buzz for the woman and her petrifying performance in the movie who plays Aunt Gladys.
Okay.
Weapons is streaming on Prime Video. I have to tell you, though, it is not for the whole family.
Thank you for that heads up.
Yes, absolutely not for the whole family.
I need to see that.
Okay, so the Emmys just happened. We know that. But some great series are coming back to the small screen.
Yeah,
what do you recommend?
Barely had to wait for great TV to come back. Task is a new drama on HBO Max starring Mark Ruffalo as an FBI agent in charge of putting an end to some violent robberies outside of Philadelphia. The show is from the same guy who created Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet, if you remember that one. Yeah, this one equally as epic. It's got 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's a 7-episode miniseries. Episode 5 drops tonight, so you can easily catch up before the season finale in 2 weeks. Or if you want to binge something in its entirety, all 6 episodes of The Girlfriend are streaming on Prime Video. Robin Wright.
Oh, this is getting a lot of attention.
It's so good. A wealthy woman whose picture-perfect life starts to unravel when her son brings home a new girlfriend. Each episode offers the perspectives of both mother and girlfriend, so you as an audience member have to decide which of them is more unhinged.
Oh.
That's
So they
streaming
both
now.
are?
They both are.
Okay.
They both are.
Love
Spoiler alert.
that.
Prime.
Any familiar favorites that we should fall back into this autumn?
Yes.
Hocus Pocus has got to be on this
Well,
list.
Hocus Pocus is
Always.
perennial recommendation. Today, got to talk about Gilmore Girls. It is the 25th anniversary of the show this weekend. Fans are celebrating with an immersive experience at the Grove in LA called A Weekend in Stars Hollow. And Lorelai Gilmore herself, Lauren Graham, honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Friday. Joined by her on-screen mother, Kelly Bishop, and show creator, Amy Sherman-Palladino. You can celebrate the 25th anniversary of Gilmore Girls by grabbing a big cup of coffee and streaming the series on Hulu or on Netflix. I interviewed Kelly Bishop a little while ago.
That's right.
And she said her relationship with Lauren Graham is exactly like real-life mother and daughter. She doesn't have any kids of her own in real life, and that has been like a guiding force for her entire life. And that show just feels like putting on a fall
Oh,
plan.
absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff out there.
Because we have a little bit more time here. What's your like go-to Halloween movie? Like, what's the one that you're just like, I got every year, I watch?
Okay, so there was this series of Disney Channel original movies called Halloween Town,
Yeah.
which are some of my favorites. Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge is peak for me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, all right. Well,
You asked, I
You'd
answered.
have an
Gio
answer.
likes QB Halloween. That's one of his
he's the
favorites.
one who brought that up.
Give us a little bit of
Will.
Hubie.
No,
Wait,
you know.
wait, give us a little bit of Hubie.
I can't
Do
do
not
the
do it.
QB impersonation. But I love Adam Sandler, though.
I tried.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate you. All right, coming up here on GMA, our group chat, the stories and images that got us talking this week. Stick around.
I don't know the line.
All right, we're back now with our group chat and the stories that piqued our interest this week. I will start this time, and I'm going to start with Nafisa Collier, Minnesota Lynx forward. She was injured in a controversial play in a playoff game against the Mercury about a week and a half ago. But this week, she made headlines calling out what she said was the WNBA's lack of accountability and leadership. Listen to this.
The league has made it clear it isn't about innovation, it isn't about collaboration, it's about control and power. I've earned this platform and I've paid the price to get here, and now I have a responsibility to speak on behalf of the fans and everyone in this league that deserves better.
So she spoke specifically, about officiating issues, player compensation, and directly criticized the league commissioner. She's gotten a ton of support from other players and coaches. But more than the specifics of her argument, which were well organized and delivered calm and calculated, I appreciate seeing someone like Fee, who has earned her platform, using it to speak truth to power, which is not always easy and can be costly and come with lots of ramifications. But she did what she felt she needed to do, and I admire that so much.
And we were talking about this yesterday, too, the moment that the WNBA is having right now, the popularity of it, and as she said, she's earned the right to have this platform, paid the price, and now she's speaking out. So, thank you for bringing that to us. I'm going to shift gears because we're getting in the mood for Halloween, right? It's officially October now. We started this in one of our social media chats yesterday about Halloween candy, and guess what? The list is out. If you've got a sweet tooth here, this is from DoorDash. They're out with the list of America's favorite Halloween candy. So we're going to get to it here. We're going to go in reverse. Number 5, Skittles. Okay. Number 4, Snickers.
Yes.
Oh. Number 3 is Hershey's milk chocolate.
Okay.
M&M's, also
milk
a classic.
Chocolate
Yeah, Hershey. Yeah, just like the classic.
That's a classic.
Number 2, M&M's, and then number 1, my personal favorite, Reese's peanut butter.
That's a solid number 1.
So this part is interesting, but then it goes beyond that, and they break it up by region, and this is where it gets really fun. So if you look across the country, I believe we have a map here. Reese's, of course, are widely popular in the East and the Midwest. Snickers in the West out there, California, Nevada. Sweet Smiles candy in parts of the South. Remember Sweet Smiles?
No. Never.
Classic?
No.
Okay, and this one surprised me. New York, Twizzlers.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Not even Red Vines. Twizzlers.
Where are my Butterfingers?
New York. So,
there you go. Butterfingers.
And no candy corn anywhere. That was noticeable.
Okay, so let's stay with Halloween, because yesterday, as we were walking out, I was asking you about Halloween. You're not ready to reveal what it is that you have for your costume here, but it got me thinking, like, what do costumes say about us? And I did some research, and in general, there's that sense of escapism, and then there's also a sense of bravery, maybe, that you can sort of like donning that armor suit. But let's go a little deeper. Let's go a little deeper. I asked you to send me your favorite picks. Whit, you were Grogu, Baby Yoda. And so I'm gonna say, like, I feel like this is a baby costume, and maybe you want to go back to being a child. Maybe that's what I'm saying.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
Janae, you were Dion from Clueless.
Yes.
I'm gonna say confident, loyal friend, maybe, right?
Totally.
And then we got me here with Tommy, Mad Hatter, and White Rabbit. What do you guys think that says?
That's elaborate.
I don't know. You guys are very hoppy.
Yeah, you're going to have to jump in and analyze yourself on that one.
Send us your thoughts, too.
Thank you so much for starting your day with us. And Cheryl, thanks for being with us.
Yes.
Thank you for having
Always
me.
great to have
Perfect New York weekend. Thank you so much. You can watch more weekend news over on ABC News Live.
And also, the WNBA Finals continues today. You can watch the Mercury take on the Aces right here on ABC starting at 3 Eastern. Have a great day, everybody.
See you tomorrow.